Hi Reception. For our favourite 5 this week, we're looking at this book, Stanley's Stick, written by John Hegley. Now, I hope you enjoyed listening to it yesterday. I'm going to be thinking a little bit more today about the story. Stanley stands on Stockpot Station with his stick. Stanley always carries his stick with him. Now, I think Stanley and his family might be going to the beach because Dad is carrying a parasol and a bucket. They're dressed in some summer clothes. Stanley's stick was once a part of something tall and grand, and it will never return. I think Stanley's stick has fallen from this huge tree here, but you can't stick a stick back on a tree. But it can still be a stick as best it can be. Stanley has a lot of stick activity, like pretending the stick is a whistle or a banana that is quite straight. You don't have to be great to be great. Like pretending the stick is a match to catch the world aflame. There is game after sticky game. Look, it's a dinosaur. That isn't extinct. It's a Stickosaurus. He's being so imaginative with his stick, isn't he? Stanley's thinking of all these different things that his stick can do. But the Stickosaurus, I think, is definitely my favourite. Look, Stanley's even off to space. He's using his stick as a rocket. Stanley has tried out some names for his stick, like Starry and Moon, but those names were all the wrong shape. And for a while he liked Stirry, but that is better for a spoon. Stanley's stick is good for writing in the sand, in languages that only Stanley can understand. Writing does look a bit funny, doesn't it? But I see what he's done. Stanley's written backwards. And he's written Stanley was here, which is some ways that some people might write Stanley was here. And 4 times now he has used his stick to pick up slugs from the pathway, platform and pavement, thus saving them from a fate worse than feet. I think Stanley's being really kind helping the slugs, isn't he? So that they don't get trampled on. Oh. Stanley's friend Bertie has some string, and sometimes they tie the string to the stick's end and go pretend fishing. Because the fisher pretend, no fish gets hurt, said Bertie. Ah, yes, they are off to the seaside. Can you see? There they are. So here is Stanley standing on the station, taking his stick for a short stay at the side of the sea with his mum and dad. The train pulls in. Now I wonder if you've ever been on a train. Maybe you've been on the train to the seaside, or maybe if you've been to the seaside you might have gone in the car. Down at the sea, Stanley goes down to the side of the tide. His folks take stock of Stanley standing in the sand, stick in hand. What is he doing? I think Stanley might be thinking about all the fun times he'd had with his stick. Maybe he thinks that some other children might like to play with it. Maybe the boy thinks it is time for the stick to be taken for somebody else to enjoy. Stanley hurls his stick into the wide tide. That was a big throw, wasn't it? But what a tiny splosh for something that has been so big in Stanley's days. He's had lots of fun with that stick, and now I don't think he's going to see it again. The sea picks up the stick and tucks it into itself. There we go. The sea is going to take the stick away, but I think somebody else will play with it. But Stanley is stickless. Stanley doesn't have a stick anymore. He doesn't have his old stick, and he doesn't have a new one. I think he might feel a bit sad. The next morning, back at their spot on the beach, the tide is out. The sea is a lot further away this morning, but Stanley treads towards the spreading sea. Boats rise seaback out on the distance. Stanley decides to look for interesting sticks, for other sticks which have been carried twiggy back upon the turning tide. So he's decided he wants a new stick, hasn't he? And soon he stumbles upon a stick alone upon the shore. It is quite different from the stick that he had before. It is wonky. Now it's also a little bit similar to the stick he had before, isn't it? Because this stick has a green leaf on, just like his other one. But his other stick was straight, wasn't it? This one is definitely not straight. The stick is an unusual saxophone. Stanley thinks of home and begins to blurt a tune for Bertie. Do you remember his friend Bertie that he pretended to do the fishing with? Now Stanley stares at the sea through his stick telescope. It is wonky, and this stick Stanley knows the name of. It is called, can you remember? Fantastic! He's using it as a mast for his boat. And look, I think the fish is his first mate. I wonder where they're going. It's Stanley's Fantastic. I really hope you're enjoying this story this week, Reception. Okay, and don't forget that tomorrow you're going to be looking even more at the language. Okay, bye.